Popeye sounds.
Popeye idol.
We'll just do the entire stream as Popeye.
Alright, let's give this a go.
Alrighty, folks. We are online yet again for another super exciting Sonic Dissected. Yes! We're gonna finish the Sonic Adventure 2 story arc in Sonic X. And I guess we'll be talking about all the Sonic news we're getting, because geez, it's definitely June Sonic month this time. We're getting plenty of Sonic news. How are you guys doing? Luke, you've terrorized London today?
Oh yeah, I went to London today with my old man. We went on this horrible histories tour of the River Thames, learning some gruesome history behind the river, and then afterwards we popped over to Forbidden Planet
to torture your dad, so you have to sit through all your nerdy stuff.
Well, actually, there was these two guys. Two guys as the tour guides, and one was a teacher, one was a student, and they were like they're doing like lots of puns and that. But yeah, I thought once you get through it, and then also they sung a bit, but I thought they were all right. Alrighty,
Melting Man, you're enjoying yourself in the summer?
Yeah, doing fine in the summer. These days I've just been very busy working on the next episode to my Archie Sonic character file series, where this time I'm doing a Bunny Rabod, and she definitely has quite the history in the comics.
I bet, yeah, a very long-running character.
Oh,
Captain,
yes.
You're doing anything these days?
Yeah, Mario Strikers Battle League came out yesterday.
Oh my.
And it's quite fun, but it's also very hard. It's a very challenging game. I almost blew out my voice last night yelling at the goalie.
Oh dear.
Oh, jeez.
Sounds like me gaming, yeah. Oh well, that's what they call it, right? Nintendo hard?
Yeah.
So I guess Nintendo hasn't outgrown that phrase yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, you tell us what you've been up to. Enjoying your time at the restaurant?
Try not to have any mental breakdowns, but kind of hard to not have a mental breakdown.
Sounds about the level of life strivings I would have, yeah. Like, oh, didn't have a mental breakdown yet, so successful day yet again. That's depressing.
But of course at the moment just trying to keep myself cool, but it's very hard to, because it's very hot here.
Yeah.
Summer's coming. I cannot.
You wait till July, mate.
You're working in a restaurant, The Angel, and yet it feels like hell.
Well, I mean, they've got like an actual new, like, aircon in there, so at least it's cooler in there. But still, it's just like.
Oh well. Right. Shall we talk about the Sonic news? Captain's little brother, his twin brother, Sala Commander, had made a video with him reacting to whatever news we got. So we could watch his reaction video very quickly for a quick up-to-date to what all the big news is now. Shall we do that?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Is it on screen? Just checking. Because I'm blind what the stream is doing.
Alright. Unexpected Sonic Central out of nowhere. Probably dealing with Sonic Frontiers, but I don't know, maybe there'll be some surprises. Sonic Central.
Welcome everyone to Sonic Central. My name
Hello.
is Ivo Gerskovich, and I'm here with the Zuki.
Evo.
Thank you.
It's kind of funny that like Sega has Evo and Nintendo has Bowser. Be like if Konami's like vice president was named Dracula. Play as Sonic. I mean, we all expected that. Play as Tails. Nice. In all games? Play as Knuckles. I mean, again, in all games? New modes. I am pleased And Knuckles, of course. Anniversary Edition without lives, because lives are an outdated form of difficulty. Boss Rush, interesting. Missions. Huh. Mirror mode, oh god, no. Museum.
Celebrate Sonic Central in Sonic Speed Simulator on Roblox.
Okay, yeah. I've been doing this. Yeah, you're so
Introducing
slow.
a new chemical plant, where it unlocks special movie-themed characters from Sonic the Hedgehog 2,
Again?
Sonic Forces, and Sonic Dash.
That's like all we've been unlocking for the past month.
Super
Oh my
Shadow
god.
is joining the battle.
Oh.
This Halloween, the
Mathfocus!
Dark. Show off the greatest achievements with Player Banner.
Okay, Sonic Prime.
Here is a
Show
sneak
something.
peek
Okay, that's it. Okay, it's Shadow. Shadow will be in it.
with a sneak peek of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on Blu-ray and digital.
Let's go. We don't need a sneak peek. The movie's out.
Put down that chili dog and take a look.
No.
Right now.
Don't tell me to put down a chili dog. Unless you mean put it down my gullet.
Straight from Angel Island. Is
Oh, a new
Knuckles-inspired
G Fuel flavored?
Available this summer. Level up your X experience with this Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh
Available this
no, I want it.
The music continues.
Sonic Symphony?
Stay tuned for the return of the Sonic the Hedgehog Symphony.
Hell yeah! Coming to Brazil.
Tour dates and info coming soon.
All right, please come to Montana. You probably
Fall
won't.
Guys is going
oh
free
my
to
god!
play on all platforms on June
Not
21st.
Fall Guys again.
Come play as Knuckles, Sonic, and Tails.
Take our word for Tails.
We are
Oh?
excited to present a sneak peek of a new animated special
Oh,
featuring Knuckles and taking place before
Knuckles?
the events of the game.
Knuckles!
You enjoy this exclusive first look.
This is huge.
We look forward to sharing the entire
That was
show
small.
this year, prior to the release of Sonic Frontiers.
Okay, but that is huge. Knuckles guarding the Master Emerald. Yes. Yes. Alright. Exclusive gameplay reveal. Impress us, please. Please. Oh! Ooh. Oh! Oh, yes, that's the speed I'm looking for! Yes! That looks better! Yes. Nice. Oh, it's over? Alright. Okay. So, that was not terrible. Alright, so we got some cool new stuff. Oh my god, the prologue with Knuckles? At the Master Emerald? Huge.
Well, there you go. Salah's reaction to the thing. Guess I will discuss the individual parts ourselves eventually, as soon as I get my slideshow open again.
Righty dokey.
Alright.
Sorry for the awkward organization. Still not very good at this. So, yeah, Melting Man, your thoughts on all the big news we had.
Let's see. The new stuff, yeah. I'm trying to remember it all. I was busy with other things. Anyway,
How dare you?
Right, so yeah, we got some new info of Sonic Prime, so at least nice to see that's still being updated, even if it's very, very small. The most we know is just, oh, Shadow and Big are coming in, and the only thing I'm hoping for is that at least they handle Shadow right this time, because right now I only fear the worst, especially after what happened last time Shadow was in a Sonic TV show. Yes.
Yeah, Sonic Boom never really contextualized him or gave him much to do. It's just, here's Shadow, he's a popular character, and laugh at him, I guess.
Yeah, and let's see, other stuff like, merchandise, still, yeah, I don't really care about, but, Sonic Origins, yeah, it's neat to see. They already announced that. Oh yeah, we're gonna, we have to redo the tracks for Sonic 3. We have to do I think the original one because they can't do the Michael Jackson one. But yeah, and I'm trying to remember what else.
I prefer the PC version anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. I didn't leave out. I left out Sonic Frontiers, and that's just because I really don't feel like talking about that.
Fair enough, fair enough. Luke, your thoughts on Sonic Frontiers and all that junk?
Regarding Frontiers, it does look like an open world tech demo, but I'm just curious what they're doing with this because at the moment it does look a little bit bland with the plinky plonky music because that's one of my biggest issues because it feels a bit, it kind of dulls things down, because usually Sonic's all about action, about exciting adventure, because when Sonic encounters an enemy, the plinky plonky music still just keeps on going because that music doesn't keep you pumped up when you're fighting the robots. That makes me fall asleep. I mean, imagine a wrestling match between I don't know, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker while that piano music is playing in the background. It's it doesn't make you excited at all. So I'm hoping we get some proper encounter music. The enemies look alright. They look very unique, much better than Forces, the bland robot designs. They kind of look like a fusion of mechanical and biological, and they kind of you got the drone cluster that's sort of straight out of the clones, the drones from the Sonic movies, and also you got creatures that kind of resemble Solaris from Sonic 06, especially the big ones. And I know they're robot creatures corrupted by an AI, so I'm interested to see where they're going with this. And I kind of have this idea that this AI corrupted Eggman, it turned him into some sort of enemy, it makes him really frightening looking, something like Tetsuo from Tetsuo from Akira.
Oh, that would be very terrifying. Jeez.
Yeah, imagine something like Solaris, but more terrifying and has Eggman's moustache.
Ooh, that'd be gruesome. Oh boy.
Yeah, and also I'm hoping we'll see more environments than just that island that kind of looks like Myst. Because that's one of my first thoughts. Because most people think of Breath of the Wild, but to me it makes me think of Myst, which is just this island with woods and stuff. It does look pretty, but it just kind of has that bland look to it. So I'm hoping it has other environments.
We'll see, but yeah, I fully agree. It's so boring. That's the most frustrating thing to me because that's what I desperately wanted the most energy. I already thought Sonic Forces was very low on energy. The initial trailer didn't have exciting music and it's kind of matter of fact, Robotnik took over the world, whatever. Then the game itself, everyone is just a sack of potatoes, just talking about exposition and Robotnik's supposed to be the ruler of the world, the ultimate dictator, yet you never really see anything exciting out of that. He's just hanging around in Green Hill Zone, immediately getting beaten up by Baby Sonic. And man, I really desperately needed energy. I desperately wanted the next Sonic game to have music and all the characters are available and they're posing and it looks very like poppy, like how they looked in the Sonic Adventure and Riders and Battle era, the graffiti art style. I wanted that energy, and then you get Sonic Frontiers, and it's the complete, utter opposite, and it's been such a slap in the face for me.
Yeah, I mean, basically, as you see all these ancient ruins, I would like to see Sonic inside an ancient temple or something. In those ruins in Sonic Adventure with traps and stuff, or in Sonic the Movie 2 when it was in that Emerald Temple.
That's a good point, too, because at one point they show a puzzle where Sonic needs to solve it and then a door opens. You expect that to be inside of a shrine, inside of a temple, but it's right in the outdoors. The puzzle's right in the middle of a field of grass and the door opens an area in the rocks. It's so laughable.
The puzzles look
trying to do any world building here?
Yeah, Sonic just pushes the button and says, "Congratulations, you win a thing."
Yeah, the door opens. The door.
What are you really collecting?
That's such. I have a little hope for this. It looks so boring. There's barely any world building. It's a joke, man. Frontiers. Oh, and just before the stream, I heard incredible news. they leaked a couple pictures of what the cyberspace levels look like, and one of them looks very much like Green Hill Zone. So Green Hill Zone is probably going to be in the game. So they do everything I hate about Sonic in this one. Frontiers, what are you doing? I'm not very happy about the game. No, not at all. Captain, are you more positive? Because it has unleashed battles. Then we really need you to bring up the positivity a little. Go ahead. Your thoughts.
Okay. So, it does have some issues that I'm concerned about, but I am seeing a lot of promise in this gameplay. It's more combat focused, and like that's something that we haven't really had since Sonic 06. And like obviously Sonic 06 didn't do it great, but like Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic Heroes did it pretty well. I think this could improve it a lot because Sonic's got like actual moves and attacks he can do, and it's turning Sonic from a platform game into an action game. And honestly, I think that's the right direction to take modern Sonic now, because like the platforming game is great, but like I think they're not going to evolve that any further. I think they perfected it a long time ago.
They ruined it ever since.
They've ruined it ever since. I don't trust them to make it better.
No.
I only trust them to make it worse. So taking it in a different direction into more of an action game, kind of like a Devil May Cry or God of War type thing, I think that's the right direction, because I think that fits Sonic's style very well.
That's exactly what I was expecting. Ever since Izuka made those big statements that this game is going to be so different from the previous games, it's going to be like a completely new era, I was fully expecting platforming to be thrown out of the window. I mean, the platforming has been so terrible in late Sonic games, and that was the most shocking thing I've seen about Frontiers, that Sonic can still jump. I was not expecting that. I thought he would be completely grounded to the ground for the whole game. Then again, by the looks of the level design we saw so far, I don't even know why Sonic can jump, because most of everything is automated and he just constantly springs everywhere. So I wonder when you ever bother need to jump. I guess in the cyberspace levels, but whatever.
But yeah, ever since I tried out that one Infinity Engine Plus for the Sage, I've been thinking that Sonic games need an expanded combat system, because that impressed me so much that I've wanted something like that, and here it is, and I hope it can live up to what the Infinity Engine showed me.
Well, I really hope the combat is really interactive. I'm really worried it's just you press a button and you get a very long cutscene, and you press a button again. Like, it doesn't look very interactive to me, which has me a little concerned. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely concerning, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it looked pretty interactive, and and it's been confirmed that there's like upgrades you can get to your combat abilities, so that's really cool. So that'll open up a whole bunch of options for like improvisation, just like Devil May Cry. So I hope it can get really crazy.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it just kind of breaks me down. I mean, the characters have already not been how I liked them for a long time. The world building has been gone. Like now the gameplay is gone. The music is gone. It's kind of like, what's left? It's like what Sonic DNA is still left in this game? I mean, I don't mind combat in and of itself as part of a larger thing, but if that suddenly becomes a focus, it's like a whole different thing. Like, I don't know. It's Sonic Frontiers is really knocking the very little interest I had in Sonic out of me right now. But that's just me, I guess.
Well, hey, on the plus side, when it comes to Sonic official media, at least there's always alternatives.
Yeah, the alternative doing a very good job. But before we move on, you want to say anything about Frontiers?
Well, not really that much, I suppose, because most people, all of you lot, just basically said your own sort of opinions. I mean, I got like maybe a bit of excitement when those little leaks, as it were, from people recording from the booth of Sonic Frontiers, showing a bit more of the game that isn't just purely in the fields, like, you know, some actual different locations. I'm like, oh, finally something different besides just rolling fields and like old structures. Something like hey, something we could do that's a little more Sonic-y and interesting, as it were. But of course, for you, like you don't like Green Hill, so obviously that's your negative.
Well, and besides that, it seems to be very much that all the levels are based on Sonic Generation. I mean, we don't know for sure. The screenshots we have are very blurry, but so
Yeah.
far it looks Sky Sanctuary and Green Hill Zone. I've even seen people at the Sonic Stadium forum already connect the screenshots we have with specific level design from Generations. Like, it almost looks like they're literally copying levels from Generations wholesale into this new game, which makes me laugh out loud because this is supposed to be the new era. That was their big statement. Like, oh man, this new Sonic game is going to be this whole new era. It's going to be this whole brand new thing. It's going to be completely different than what came before. And then they just put Sonic Generations 11-year-old levels in this game anyway. It's like, okay, well that's not very good for your brand new direction. I mean, it's like if Sonic Adventure just randomly put literal levels from Sonic 1 back into it as the action stages. It's like, well, you don't have much worthy stuff of your own to show, apparently. But yeah, we'll see. Of course, it's too early to comment on that. We only have these blurry screenshots.
Because, I mean, sometimes it's just probably better if they just go all the way back to the basics rather than just trying to add new things or like really change it up.
Yeah, but the whole point of the game is that they put changing it up. That's the purpose. That's their big statement. It's like, oh, this is gonna be the whole brand new era. I mean, we already had all the nostalgia stuff before. So, I mean, I agree with you. I prefer them just build on what came from the past instead of just blindly going to a new direction. But like, if they're going into a new direction, then go for it. Go 100%. Like, if you think your open world concept is so incredible, then go for it 100%. But if they already seem to think that their own open world concept is not good enough for the game, and they're out of desperation already grabbing stuff from the previous games to uphold their new stuff, then, well, that's not saying very good stuff about your new concept, is it? I mean, just the Sonic level design parts in the open world barely feel like they're part of the actual structure, as if the people who made the island really built the level design into the island itself. It's like they just randomly put like platforms and rails on top of it, almost out of desperation. Like, oops, we forgot to actually add any level design in here. I'll just randomly shove a bunch of stuff on top of it just to make up for it. It looks laughable. It's just not screaming any kind of confidence or any kind of vision. It feels like they're just shoving a bunch of stuff together. So, I don't know, man. Frontiers just ain't selling it to me. But to make it a little positive, every single time we hear something from the people who played the demo on whatever that was, they seem to be all very positive. So apparently everyone who played the game really likes it a lot. So that's at least something of a hopeful bit. But everything I've seen just makes me not very positive.
Well,
it's also been confirmed that what we've seen is an older build of the game for some reason.
Yeah. Which is like not exactly a positive thing.
And
because it's like you're supposed to be showing like the latest things that like they've made, as opposed to just like, oh, here's the previous build, have fun with that.
It's supposed to come out this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's scheduled that, but yeah, so far the marketing for this game has been terrible, especially when they decide to let IGN, of all companies, like show off gameplay bits. Like, yeah, the company known for their piss poor review of Sonic Unleashed and openly stating that Sonic was never good to begin with. Yeah, not a good track record there.
Yeah, I can imagine them pitching into the big guys, and which is the beta version, and the guys like, right, this is the final build, right? And they said, yeah. It's like, what are we going to do?
But yeah, it's quite a ride for Frontier. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Guess we'll just see. That said, yeah, I know it's an early beta version, but my complaints are much deeper than just it looks unfinished. So, but yeah, we'll see. Also, what are your thoughts about Iizuka suddenly talking about this leading to a new Sonic adventure?
I don't believe a damn word that guy says anymore.
Neither do I. I mean, to be fair, he was kind of baited into that statement. I mean, the interviewer kind of brought it up, so it's not like... I mean, when you just watch the video, it almost looks like Iizuka just brings it up out of nowhere. But,
yeah.
it was kind of annoying. But it made me laugh so hard because at first they made this big statement like, oh, ever since Sonic Adventure, all the Sonic games have been exactly the same. And this Frontiers is going to be the first step to a new direction. Just to immediately follow it up and, oh yeah, the next game is going to be Sonic Adventure again. It's like, you kind of shooting
That's
yourself.
what they said every other like previous game.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we heard rumors about Forces about the same, yeah. So, I don't know. Like, to me, it just comes across as Suzuka just being a yes man. Just as soon as you said, oh yeah, are you going to make Sonic Adventure next? Like, yeah, sure, whatever. And he just does something stupid next time anyway. But yeah, much as I love to bash on the game, let's not. Okay, do anyone wants to talk about Sonic Prime or anything else?
I might have a few things to say about Prime.
Okay.
So, right. So aside from me mentioning about the new character reveals, and it looks like I saw an additional video connected to that where they talk a little bit about the story, and it involves they're still sticking with the idea of Sonic traveling to the multiverse, but now it's involved like, oh, now he's got to like save his friends because apparently he like took them for granted at first, and then they go on an adventure like, oh, you know, I actually do need your guys' help. So I guess that kind of ties into the whole snippet we got years ago about, oh, this is going to be like a show where Sonic goes through a character growth kind of thing.
But it also feels like a concept that should just be one episode. Like, oh, in this episode, Sonic doesn't take his friends for granted, and then they get into this one crazy adventure where they're in a different dimension, and then the episode is over. Like, it doesn't really feel like the concept for an entire TV show, but that's just me. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, so far, Prime isn't very interested in showing its own identity. Like, at this point, I'm just calling it Sonic Generations, the TV show. They're just kind of shoving in familiar shapes in your face. Like, oh, here's Green Hill Zone again. Here's Big Cat again. Here's Shadow again. Like, okay.
I like to call it Sonic Twitter, the TV show, because that's what we've gotten so far. It's just all the shit that the Twitter, official Twitter loves to spam a lot. You know, oh, Audi Edge, oh, BD, and that kind of shit.
Yeah, I just want to see Eggman and what his voice is going to be like.
That's going to be very interesting, yeah. I gotta say, the animation is incredible, though. It looks very smooth. I love how it moves.
Oh, yeah, especially with that snippet of new bit we got with Big the Cat. We can see that Sonic can be very expressive, which is which is a big glow up compared to how it was back in Sonic Forces and Team Sonic Racing.
Sonic Boom, yeah. Well, Sonic Boom he was also expressive, but still kind of stiff. Yeah, the animation is great.
Yeah, animation's nice. Definitely better than Sonic Boom, in my opinion, though I guess that's not fair because I've only seen like 5 random episodes. But from the snippets I've seen, it kind of feels like most of the time Sonic Boom has like the same animation budget as Family Guy, just standing around talking and nothing else.
Yeah, well, that's what games are like too. So
also, to me, something seems a bit off with Big's voice because usually Big is like, "Oh, Froggy," but here is like, "Oh, hello, Sonic."
Yeah, I guess they're trying to reduce the damage and just kind of make it more pleasant to listen to. Fair enough. I mean, there's reasons why people don't like him. It's a little bit too much. I mean, Sonic X almost made a joke out of how boring Big the Cat is. He talks so slow and all the other characters get driven insane by it.
I'm okay with the new Big voice. I'm just mostly hoping they actually, okay, well, it's Big, and then there's Froggy. Well, okay, can we actually have Froggy actually look like a damn frog and not the damn tail? Because I'm kind of annoyed how some official Sonic media just use the tailed Froggy. Like, oh, like Sega All-Stars Racing, oh, it's tailed Froggy. Oh, the official merchandise, oh, it's tailed Froggy. Like, no, that's supposed to be a one-and-done deal. That's just a minor thing that gets on my nerves.
I mean, unless their excuse is like, oh no, Froggy's still in puberty.
Or he still has parts of chaos inside of him. Whoops.
Yeah, or just cheap fan service, like, oh, Tailed Froggy, yeah, from Sonic Adventure, yeah.
Yes, the game that we would rather be playing rather than Frontiers,
True.
We'll see.
Yeah,
so apparently we're getting a... Yeah, Salah? Captain, what's up?
Should I go over the weekly Sonic Speed Simulator update?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so they have delayed the Metal Sonic update till next week because I guess they wanted to celebrate summer. So they've introduced 2 new skins, and that is Summer Sonic and Chef Amy. And you get these by, what else? Collecting chili dogs. Scattered around the world, and but they're pretty easy to collect this time around. There's no like time limit on them like there were for other characters. They just kind of respawn kind of randomly, but there's pretty much always some to collect, so you can just go around the map and find chili dogs, and once you collect 7,500 of them, you can get the Sonic
That's
skin.
a lot. Jeez.
And morbid obesity.
Yeah, morbidly obese. And that's what the next update will be. Sonic Extra Large. Speed
Oh boy,
Simulator
another
Edition.
Chunga Sonic or something. Chungas. Well,
But,
I guess he
yeah,
burns a lot
so-
of calories when you run at that speed.
Probably, yeah. So yeah, they're nice looking skins. You know, I like that Amy got a new skin. That's her second. So now Tails, Knuckles, and Amy all have 2, and Sonic has 4.
Well, he's the hero, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still no Shadow or Metal Sonic, but I guess we're getting Metal Sonic next week.
Yeah,
At
you
least
looking
so
forward
far.
to Chef Shadow? Shadow in Chef's clothing?
I would actually love that. If they added a Chef Shadow, I think that'd be my new main.
Like a French
Yeah.
outfit and all that.
Well, at least there's so far a more decent balance with most characters having a good amount of costumes. You know, unlike say CTR Nitro Field, where some characters never really got the chance to have their own costumes. Like my poor
Yeah,
Yaya Panda.
Like Komodo Mo, I don't think he ever got anything.
Nah, just a bunch of recolored skins and.
And it took till like the final update for Geary to get something.
Oh yeah, where they just used the Beanox update, where they just used their old mascot for his skin.
Which, to be fair, was a pretty cool looking skin.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of a shame. I kind of would have liked to see more like costumes for the lab assistant. Like I could have seen like, oh, maybe like the endoskeleton, like how they actually are in the games, or maybe disco dancing lab assistant from Wrath of Cortex. I would definitely pay money for seeing that to happen. Oh well.
And what about a Chef Werehog? Although he's not really gonna cook his food, is he? He's just gonna eat it raw.
No, he's just gonna have a big bow tie on him. Look like a giant plushie.
If the Werehog was somehow added to the game, yes, I would never switch off of them. And especially if they gave him a chef's hat.
I mean, he did constantly try out all the chili dogs and hot dogs in the game, and give all the food to Chip. So I guess he is food related to a degree.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. Anyone wants to say anything about the prologue Sonic Frontiers is getting? Apparently.
Well, they seem to go for a more darker tone in that 1 nanosecond where it shows Knuckles guarding the Emerald, which is like what we wanted Knuckles to do. I'm just curious of what they're going to do with this, or how it connects.
I wonder if it will, because now I'm just kind of reminded of the Sonic Forces prequel comics, where they just kind of quickly made them to, because the game itself did such a terrible job at establishing things. Like I'm kind of worried about the same thing, that Sonic Frontiers just doesn't bother setting itself up properly and just kind of starts right in the middle, and then Sega.
Yeah, right by the seat of their pants.
Yeah, and then Sega of America just quickly came up with a quick cartoon, just like, oh no, we planned it all out, don't worry. But yeah, it is nice to see Knuckles kind of guarding the Master Emerald, but I want to see it in the actual main game. Like as long as it's in these weird prequel stuff, it still feels kind of fake to me. Like it's just Sega of America doing damage control rather than Sonic Team giving a shit for once. But that's just me. I'm cynical at this point, I guess.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Very much so indeed. Well, I have my reasons. Sonic Team did a better job, I wouldn't have been. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. At least they did. Art style looks amazing as usual. Man, that's incredible artwork.
Yep.
I just saw Captain post an image of where exactly that Chef Amy pic came from. I remember seeing that costume, like, why does that look so familiar? Like, oh, there it is. There's your answer.
Just a moment, I have to get it into the thing. But I didn't know that was like an actual thing.
Yeah.
So, you could have looked that in Sonic Unleashed then.
No, I think that's just a Sonic Channel artwork, not like in something in Sonic Unleashed.
Oh,
Yeah, that's from Sonic Channel.
it's still very
Yeah.
Sonic Unleashed themed. Even Big the Cat. gets
Really
his
interesting
hands-
where all of these skin references are coming from, because like there was the Sailor Tales, which was from that one plushie. There's this Chef Amy. There's of course Treasure Hunter Knuckles, who has the hat. So I'm surprised I'm surprised we haven't seen anything confirming where the stealth suit for Sonic came from, because that's the most unique one I've seen so far.
Sonic Rivals or something? But yeah, they're very very going out of their way with the unique costumes. I wish they were just as original with the levels. Because as unique the costumes are, as boring and generic the levels are. Oh well.
Yeah, it's Sonic Stealth Suit. Yeah, I think that was the one that Nabrock Rock made. That was kind of its own original creation.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you got your own game official, then why not add your own stuff to it? Add to the Sonic mythos yourself. Right, shall we move on to the Sonic X? Does anyone have anything else to say about the updates we got so far?
Let's see. Nah, I got nothing.
Alright, guess we move on to Sonic X then. The big finale of the Sonic Adventure 2 era saga. Oh my. Ewan, you wanted to do the... Oh wait, that's for the final episode, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got dibs on that one, apparently.
Okay, if you want to. So anyone else wants to do the synopsis of the fourth Sonic Adventure 2 episode? The cheaper one? Okay, I guess I'll do it. So, everyone is back at Chris' home. I'm not sure if it's the actual home of his backup home, where they listen to the news. Knuckles has been chasing Rouge so far, he ran all the way to the desert. I absolutely love watching him just run like mad and super fast through it. It's hilarious. It's kind of interesting now they establish in Sonic X that Knuckles is pretty fast here too, just like in the movie. So I guess it is canon now, I suppose, even though he barely uses it. Anyway, yeah, they're going to the Pyramid Base. Meanwhile, Chris is teleported with Shadow to the Space Colony Arc. So he gets to listen to Shadow and get introduced to the concept of the whole thing. So I kind of liked it that Chris was kind of like asking Shadow some interesting questions, like if Shadow was Sonic's brother or Hedgehogs have a clan. Because I was always kind of wondering about that, because they always talk so weird about Hedgehogs, like they're like unique or something, like they can't see the difference between Sonic and Shadow and all that. So I really loved the moment where he was kind of like trying to explore it, even though we never really get a proper answer. I mean, obviously Shadow lived 50 years before Sonic, but yeah, we got a lot of other interesting things to see. I also love this shot of like Gerald Robotnik, Maria, and Shadow running together. Like we never seen that with Gerald Robotnik himself being involved with the gun attacks, which is kind of confusing because the later episodes kind of imply that Gerald Robotnik wasn't present during those moments, but it's kind of confusing. Although, yeah, I'm still shocked how far Sonic X goes into the whole backstory. I was kind of surprised to it. Anyway, yeah, we go back to the Earth. This whole episode is about Sonic being chased by Gun again. I always love it when Gun is involved, all the chasing. Helen gets a cool moment where she distracts the police officers. Not there's much of a point to it, because at the moment she does that, Sonic was already moved on. But still appreciate the token. Helen yet again gets to be the best human child character of all.
Yeah, Helen is best Sonic X character. Yeah,
absolutely. They keep going back to the President's aide in his sub story about him being a beggar. I'm not sure where they're going with that. It's still kind of confusing. But yeah, we're going back to. The journalist looking back for information. At first I was so confused why they added that, but it does have an awesome payoff later, but that's for a later episode. But yeah, they're going searching for more information about what happened with Space Colony Arc 50 years ago. This episode didn't really go anywhere with that yet. Anyway, yeah, Robotnik gets to do his awesome speech about how he's going to blow up the moon, and then he blows up the moon. Always an epic moment. It's nice to see Robotnik being all super menacing and threatening for once in Sonic X. Usually he's much more cartoony. But yeah, they're just going all the way. He's doing this cool stuff. We're getting more flashbacks of Shadow and Maria, of course. I found this screenshot hilarious. It looks so awkwardly drawn. Like that's kind of the problem with this episode. It had a very low budget compared to the other episodes. The drawing is very off.
Yeah.
Not that I can complain much about it. It kind of reminds me of my own art style, but I found it kind of adorable in a weird way. Anyway, yeah, most of the episode is the police just chasing after Sonic. Boku, the robot, is betraying Sonic. Sonic and Knuckles finally meet up, have a cool fighting sequence, and punch a bunch of robots. Even Tanaka gets a pretty awesome moment with a motorcycle. And that was pretty much it. Doesn't really do much. It's just moving through the story, I guess. So yeah, anyone else has any comments about this episode?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad episode. We do get to see Eggman urinating on the moon with his giant laser. I do like how it appears in 3D, and they did take some liberties with the scene in the pyramid. I mean, this time bringing Cream along, which is an interesting thing to see, and also having Boken controlling the giant golem instead of being stuck in a pit. And also they did cut out the ghosts, which is interesting. And then also you have noticed the weird art style. Like you see, like it's supposed to be from an angle, but it looks like Shadow has a giant head. And another scene looks like Knuckles had a very longer nose than usual. And also when they go in the rocket, you actually see them sitting in the rocket, because you don't see that in the game. You just see Sonic running into the spaceship, and it just launches, and you just hear them arguing about how to control the ship.
Oh, the pyramid also happened in this episode. Oh, I'm screwing up. I'm doing a terrible job. Thanks, Luke, for reminding me.
What's that?
I completely forgot the pyramid was also in this episode. I screwed up.
Yeah, Eggman's base.
Yeah, the pyramid base.
But yeah, he's not in there because he's up in the space colony. So Boken is like controlling it.
Fair enough. I absolutely love. There's like a what's the name? Like a I can't come up. Like the automatic stairs when they go into the pyramid. Like they don't walk up the stairs, but escalator. That's what I was looking for. That they have an escalator. That kind of caught me by surprise. That was fun. But yeah, it was kind of cool to have Cream and Boken involved in here. Yeah, Cream even got a cool moment where she stole the transmission machine. That was fun. As he nearly gets Boken killed by sending the golem after him.
Yeah.
Must have been your favorite episode. What's up, Captain?
I thought that the moon explosion was a bit underwhelming here because, like in the game, it just like the laser like contacts the moon and it just like breaks apart like piece by piece, and there's like the molten core inside. Here, it just like shatters and like it's just solid all the way through.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered one thing. At the very beginning of the episode, there was a news report about like the possibility of Chris being killed in the explosion, and Sonic's like, Chris is fine. He's fine.
Yeah, he's just
he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, just because of how like he's like everyone's like watching the TV or being like worried or concerned, and Sonic's just lounging about with a smile on his face, like, "Yep, everything's all fine and dandy here."
I guess he must have taken lessons from Chuck, because like during that whole segment of like Tails trying to defuse the rocket, like everyone except Chuck was worried about it.
Would have been dark if then they learned that Chris actually is dead. And Sonic's like, oops, I should have been worried.
No, it's like, no big loss.
And nothing of value was lost.
Ah, poor Chris.
And Tanaka could be like,
I'm
I'm
free. He needs
free.
to get beaten up later. What was that?
So there is a scene I do like in this episode, and it's when Chris is like on the space colony Ark, and he wonders if like he's the first kid that's ever gone to space. Shadow says you're not, and Chris like asks about that, and like the expression on Shadow's face is actually pretty well done.
Yeah.
Because like you can see the thought process in his head. I thought that was very well done.
Of course, reminding of Maria. Or the gun commander, even more importantly. Unfortunately, we never get to see him in Sonic X. What a shame.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting with how they handled the whole flashback scene with Shadow being launched out with the pod, and Maria's giving that little final speech. It's kind of interesting how both versions handled it. Like the English dub is kind of just shortened to that whole bit, like the whole tempered memories that Gerald did, like, oh, I was promised you revenge kind of thing. But in the Japanese version, part of Maria's dialogue is actually drowned out by gunfire.
Yeah. Pretty dark.
Another thing I want to bring up is that I was watching the subtitled version. In the game, instead of saying goodbye, they usually say sayonara. But in the Sonic X subtitle, she goes, "Adios, Shadow." I thought that was a bit funny.
Much happier version of it.
Yeah, it's in the Japanese version. They just say adios.
Adios, amigo.
Whee!
Which
See
is
you later,
weird because
alligator.
sayonara is
Sorry, what is Captain?
that would be weird because sayonara is how you say goodbye in Japanese. So
I guess I just wanted to sound exotic. So sayonara is
Yeah.
exotic for us, but boring for them.
Yeah. Adios, Shadow the Hedgehog. Let's go home. Whee!
Yep, and that's my cartoon version. But yeah, I don't know, not much to say about it. It's a bit of a cheap episode. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, obviously a cheap episode, just because how everyone just looks very awkward
Yeah.
at points.
A big head Sonic.
I was kind of
Yeah,
surprised they
or
were
lanky
shipping
knuckles.
Topaz and Tanaka at the end. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like they were starting to have a relationship there. But I guess they just went nowhere.
All the Rouge and Topaz shippers are disappointed.
yeah, I actually have another couple of moments that I really liked from this episode. For one thing, like when Rouge and Chris are both in the room together, they seem very friendly towards each other, which I thought was kind of funny. But when they get to the pyramid and they realize they need a key to open the door, everyone just immediately gangs up on Knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Sonic X loves to gang up on Knuckles. Because, like, there was the baseball episode, and then the running one, and now this one.
Poor Knuckles.
Yeah.
But yeah, now all of a sudden they make a very big deal in the Japanese version of him being a treasure hunter. But has that really been brought up before? Because I guess the other solo episode of him kind of did, but I'm not sure if that Knuckles ever bragged about being a treasure hunter all that much. Because everyone kind of acts like it. Like they
No, it's
treat it
never
as
really-
a big running joke.
Yeah, it's not really brought up, like, the whole deal with Knuckles being a treasure hunter and whatnot. It's just only in this one episode.
Well, I mean, again, they did kind of bring it up in the solo episode of Knuckles when he went to China, but then that didn't involve any of the other characters. So why they treat it as a running joke, as it kind of beats me. Kind of awkward, yeah.
I mean, they've known him for years. He's probably brought it up at some point.
I guess so.
But I do like that they send him out to find the key, and instead he just gets the Golem to break down the door.
Yeah.
I got the door open.
Yeah, I do like how the golem in this kind of reminds me of the golem from Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one outside the pyramid, yeah.
Yeah, it just jumps around a lot.
Too bad he never falls into quicksand. He actually makes a cameo later on, but yeah, that's for the next episode, or the last episode, I think.
Yeah.
I did like Sonic and Knuckles teaming up to fight the Golem. I thought that was a pretty cool moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite part of this episode was Tails, like, goes out of his way to, like, modify the X-Tornado to fly into space. And then, like, there's too many people because there's only 4 seats on the X-Tornado. So, like, oh, and we need to bring Chris back, so we have to keep 1 seat empty. And then Sonic's like, we'll just take the space shuttle.
Poor Tails.
There's just
Convenient
there's
space shuttle
just a
behind
How long
space
has that been
shuttle
there?
Yeah, poor Tails. Went all the hard work of
Yeah.
getting the thing to go into space, but nope. It's kind of odd. Like, they have to modify the X-Tornado to go into space. Like, couldn't it already do that? Like, in that...
Thunderburst
One episode
episode,
with,
yeah.
Yeah, Thunderbirds. Didn't it already do that? Because why does it need modifications now?
Beats
know,
me.
maybe it's just a bit different, I suppose. Maybe it's like it's on like the very edge as opposed to like being actually in space.
Right, not in
Yeah,
the
that's true.
atmosphere. I guess so.
Yeah.
Then again, he didn't completely waste it because I think he did bring his tornado along with the other rocket because he uses it in the next
Yep.
episodes as a wall.
Yeah.
I
But
can't
yeah,
remember
it's
how
kind
that
of
got-
funny. Just if it wasn't.
I can't remember how that got up there. Was just Tails flying it up there, or did he just like put it in the rocket, or just tie it down to the rocket?
I guess
pop-
it
like,
would be
pop
funny if you
into
tied it
the,
back.
Yeah, I just assumed that they put it inside the space shuttle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they didn't really establish that. It would have been funny if it just kind of tied behind a rocket, like it's a caravan
Yeah.
or something.
or it's like tied up like in front of the rocket, like it's some kind of hood ornament.
Stupid jokes. Yeah. cheaply animated, but still fun. So, decent episode. I had a good time. All right, shall we move on to the next episode?
Yeah, I really want to talk about this one because of how it has one of the best characters in the arc, which is the old ex-gun soldier, who I like to call Old Man Wilkins, because because they try to find him in the shack, but he's not there. But then they go to the retirement home, and I thought, why didn't they check him there in the first place? So he's like, no, I don't want to talk about it. So then they were stopped by these CIA agents, who they managed to fight, and the old man managed to take him out. But what I liked about this old man is that he confesses about who he is and what he did at the incident 50 years ago, because spoilers, he is the one who shot Maria and was really guilty about it. It was like one of the grimmest, most darkest things I've seen in this cartoon, in this anime, because you think that Sonic X is just for kids, but no, you see that moment of that gun soldier really being torn out about it. It's like when you hear about old war veterans talk about all the innocent lives they had to kill. I mean, man, it's really hard to see, to hear about. But there are some interesting other moments, like when Knuckles fought Rouge on the Ark. I mean, they kind of toned it down a bit, because instead in the game when they fought on the construction site, they just fought on a catwalk, and also they were a bit cheap, where instead of falling into lava, Rouge just apparently falls into a purple void, like she's going to fall into some Ribena, but Knuckles just catches her. But one of the things I think they really crapped the bed with was when Tails has this low-powered fake emerald, and Sonic has to give it to Eggman, convincing him it's the fake one. But in the game, Eggman outsmarts Tails by making him confess it's a fake. But in here, he's like, "Oh no, don't touch it's the fake emerald," and Eggman's like, "What? That one's a fake." I mean, because in the game, it made Eggman seem so intellectually superior, outsmarting Tails like this.
And here's extra dumb because he actually had the emerald trapped in the capsule, so he thought it was the real emerald and he was about to blow it up. So he's even doubly stupid.
Yeah, because they really dumbed down Eggman in this.
Yeah, it's a shame,
Yeah.
especially in the game version where Robotnik actually knows that there is a fake emerald on the ship.
When he made Tails call his bluff on that and outsmarting him, I thought, I really like that.
Yeah.
That's a really missed opportunity, yeah. For as much as they make the gun plot much more intense, Eggman really is ruined here a bit. And that's a shame, because Eggman was pretty awesome in most of the episodes.
Yeah, and he didn't aim at gunpoint with a gun.
Exactly.
Yeah, now she's just gonna hang around on a hook, yeah.
Yeah, we did have a really cool mech fight with Tails and Eggman, and then after that they activated the countdown, and then you got Sonic and Shadow meeting each other on the conveyor belt, and I thought that was all right.
That's just I thought it was alright.
Yeah, it was all right, yeah. I am what I am. I'm Sonic the Sailor Man.
Pretty much. My favorite part of the episode is Knuckles just running around with a Master Emerald like it's nothing, with a big giant smile on his face. That made me laugh.
I'm gonna take your emerald! No!
Like almost the whole episode, he's just running around with a big giant thing on top of him. It's hilarious. Like you guys can see him in the background with a big giant ass emerald above him. It's amazing.
Yeah. Master Emerald, let's go to the kid ride together. Whee!
Well, yeah, this was one of my favorite episodes. It was awesome, yeah. But yeah, Captain, you have anything to say?
Yeah, so they definitely did ruin Eggman's story in this, because like that was definitely one of his most badass moments ever in the games. It's just like he had everyone exactly where he wanted them and completely outsmarted everyone. It was amazing. And here he just kind of yoinks Amy away from them, threatens to crush her, and then tries to destroy the Chaos Emerald that he needs.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Luckily, Tails' character arc is still intact here, where he's like, he becomes more independent after Sonic's apparent death, so...
Yeah. So I won't let him down, I won't give up, yeah. Back when actually Tails had character development.
I did find it funny that, the Scarlet Garcia, like, confirms that Mr. Schmitz is the last surviving member of the gun raid on the Ark. So, what a coincidence
Sorry.
that the last one alive is the one who shot Maria.
It's very healthy to shoot small girls. Makes you live very long.
It's pretty dark with how they did the whole backstory with
Yeah.
the soldier and Maria. Well, in the Japanese version, the English dub, it's obviously more toned down.
How did it really go in the 4Kids version? I didn't get the chance to see it. What happened there?
Yeah, well, like, they toned down, like, some of the gunfire, like, you know, when Maria, like, pulls the lever, then you see him, like, shoot her, and then he's, like, grieving by the door. Like, yeah, that was all cut from the English dub. Instead, it just ends with Maria pulling the lever, and then cuts back to the present time.
And then she just
Yeah, where
randomly
it's
got a
just
heart
fly
attack at the
when
end.
he shot her. Yeah. And like, he says, like, oh, they took her away.
Yeah, they toned that
Oh,
down.
they imprisoned her, did they?
Pulling off
yep.
the classic One Piece.
Yeah.
She went to the Shadow Realm on vacation.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
God.
Or just
Yeah.
basically just imprisoned somewhere, which you never know, you'll never find her again and such. Like, that's it. She's still alive, but you just won't find her again ever. So you might as well just assume she's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be like 62 years old or something in the present.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And probably on life support, knowing her condition.
Oof.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's for the next episode, yeah.
Her frail disease, yep.
But yeah, so I guess one thing I want to comment, the whole deal with, like, Knuckles and Rouge, they have their fight like in the games, and like, oh, Rouge is falling, and then Knuckles grabs her, and also, I always found that scene really stupid, like, she's falling to her doom, like, she's a bat, she could just fly out of there, or were the animators just too lazy to animate her wings?
Yeah, and also they lowered the stakes because in the game she looks like she was falling into lava, but here she's like falling into a purple void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of lame.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm just
She's go-
just assuming like maybe the floor, like the gantry is like only like maybe 10 feet up in the air.
Oh, maybe. Though
I
I'd like
mean,
to
I'm
imagine, like Knuckles like saved her. It's like, there, I saved you from falling into the Barney dimension.
Oh my God.
I've saved you from the Ribena.
The Mega Mac.
Oh, there you go. Thing stuff.
Yeah, the purple guy from Five Nights at Freddy's.
I also like they still kept the part where Knuckles was fighting for the controls on a rocket. That was always one of my favorite moments where he just almost makes him crash because he's so obsessed with the Master Emerald. Still intact. That was pretty cool to see Mr. Stewart actually fight off the FBI agents or whatever they were. It's pretty cool to see him. in
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
Yet another thing that was censored in the 4Kids dub.
Yeah, they never
Of course.
fought.
Yeah, I thought it was funny how they did it. Like, he like snuck up on one of them, and then it just immediately cuts to two others going, oh!
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, especially with how they handle the whole bit with, like, when one captures Scar Garcia, and one's like, oh, just get in the car. I think that was in the English dub, and the Japanese version's like, oh, just calm down. Which is kind of weird, like, oh, get in the car, like, yeah, that's what she was going to do, because that's what Stewart told her to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what the hell?
that guy was secretly trying to help.
Yeah,
And then Mr. Schmitz knocks him out.
yeah,
How dare you help him?
yeah. I think it's, and then how Schmitz, like, explains, like, saving them, like, I think it's just funnier in the Japanese version. He says, like, oh, I still work out in the gym, yeah. While in the English dub, it's kind of just, oh, I used to be a fighter in my day, shiny boy.
Well, of course, you're a soldier, duh. Well, used to be a soldier. Yeah, they never really explain who the rogue evil gun agents are. I mean, I guess I understand it because they want to differentiate between the evil gun soldiers who caused all the tragedies in the past, but, like, opposed to the nice, friendly gun agents that are supposed to be the main characters. But now it still kind of comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh yeah, there's just gun soldiers who are evil, but they're still
Yeah, but-
officials, so...
Well, I think these in particular are just specifically just designed to, like, I don't know, stop anyone from, like, leaking out the secrets of Project Shadow or whatever.
Yeah, but later they get arrested. But aren't they following orders? So
Yeah.
Well,
they're not criminals.
yeah.
They're just following orders.
It's kind of weird. Like, one's trying to find the secrets and the other's not trying to,
It's really
yeah.
strange, and they never really explain it because they
Yeah.
really needed to have a leader or something, or the brain of the group. But yeah, I guess
Wait.
they just yeah.
Well, maybe like the whole like anti-gun thing. Maybe that was done by Jerome, the homeless guy. He was secretly holding the whole thing all along.
he was the mastermind all along. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I suppose it's like how in the MCU had like an internal evil agents in Shield that like secretly Hydra agents. I don't think had the similar thing with Gunn.
I see. There were Hydra agents all along, of course. That explains everything. Secret Nazi soldiers.
At first, I almost thought he said fire hydrants.
Fire hydrants.
Fire hydrants.
They're fire hydrant agents. Yeah, they might look like regular fire hydrants, but then they morph into humanoids.
Fire hydrants are just their disguises.
Yeah.
They're
That's
actually
what the Red
fire
Skull
hydrants,
delete, Rolf.
but they wear sunglasses.
So, an interesting thing about the 4Kids dub is for some reason they censored Ultimate Life Form and instead call Shadow the Ultimate Creature,
Yeah, that is weird.
which sounds more insulting than complimentary.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because Beast was used as like a racism term in the Japanese version a couple episodes ago. So now it finally shows up in the American version, but now it's a compliment. That's weird. I mean, I guess it's to make up for, like, why would the ultimate life form be a hedgehog? Like, of course, we humans are the ultimate life form.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's this episode or the next episode. Saying like they found like the earliest form of life that all of us are like evolved or descended from, and it's a hedgehog. So like, are we evolved from hedgehogs?
Yeah, that was this episode. I've got the screenshot up right now, but I can't really see what they say. I mean, scientists say they have found the evidence of the earliest known animal whose existence led to the development of monkeys, apes, and humans. The creature was extremely small, about the size of a human finger. It lived 45 million years ago in the rainforest in what is now this country. It probably slept during the day and searched for food at the tops of trees at night. It ate insects and fruit. They never really say what it is. I mean, I guess it's implied it's a hedgehog then if it led to Shadow, but...
Oh yeah, all the text in the files and whatnot. But
Yeah, because I'm very, very curious of how they're going to do this in Sonic the Movie 3, like how they got hold of the DNA for Shadow, if he's like supposed to be like from outer space or something.
That's a good question. And then again, Sonic X also doesn't really explain a lot. I mean, later you get Dr. Eggman saying like, "Oh, I always looked up to my grandfather," even though he doesn't even know anything about his grandfather, including that he came from Earth. So why do you look up to him when you know absolutely nothing about him and he was never in your dimension to begin with? It's like all the scientific like victories he had were on Earth, what Eggman didn't know anything about until now. So Sonic X's backstory doesn't really work out if you think about it.
Yeah.
And of course, it doesn't help that like some backstory isn't like the files and computer files or text like the thing that Rouge is holding up, but only in the Japanese version because all that's blocked out in the English dub.
Yeah, the English dub is scared of the English language.
For some reason, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's really stupid. Like if it has like curse words in it, like okay, I can imagine that would be censored. But like full text of like perfectly translated English, like why would you censor that out of the English dub? I mean, I can understand for like translations for like Russian or German, but come on.
I think that was the
don't
point
like
because
reading.
they also... Sorry, what do you say? Sonic?
Kids don't like reading.
Yeah. But I think that was the point because Sonic X was meant to be sold to foreign markets. They merely took out the English language to help out the other languages, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever. That's 4Kids weird logic, I guess. But yeah, anything else? I mean, it's kind of interesting they took out all the outside areas. We never see the outside of Space Colony Arc until the final episode. So
Yeah, you don't see like Sonic going on those blocks that like defies gravity and that.
Hell yeah.
I guess they wanted to avoid Sonic breathing in space like he does in the video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Interestingly enough, they do name drop Crazy Gadget for some reason,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
but we don't like get to see it.
What a shame. I also found it hilarious that the reason how the cannon got destroyed wasn't by Sonic's action, but by Shadow. Shadow accidentally destroyed the cannon by just shooting Chaos Spears everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So Sonic
Yeah,
had to
Yeah, instead of Sonic slam dunking the fake emerald into the cannon's core, like, nope, it's Shadow that saves the day.
By missing all his attacks.
Well,
Shadow.
I suppose he just like in the end, because since he knows what's going to happen when the 7th Chaos Emerald is going to be put into it, he's like, oh, I don't care about the cannon. I'm just preventing Sonic from basically getting to the controls in time to put in the fake emerald. So all Shadow was doing was just simply delaying Sonic.
Fair enough. I guess it does make sense. Still, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course we get the big dramatic reveal of Dr. Gerald Robotnik's execution. And yes, in the Japanese version, you do hear a gunshot. I assume in the American version they took that out.
Yeah, in the American version, instead of like the whole, is there anything else you want to say? No, ready! Instead it's just, oh, you and humans will all die. You'll see. You will all see. And there might be some, like, noise going on in the background, but it's all drowned out by Robotnik saying, like, oh, you will all see.
Yeah,
what I find funny is how specific Gerald is this time. I mean, in the original game, it was very vague. So I guess the soldiers were just like, oh, he's just like ranting. Like, oh, you humans, you will pay. But I think in the Japanese version, it was almost literally saying, like, oh, in exactly 27 minutes, the arc is going to fall down. It's like, shouldn't everyone be alarmed when he says those very specific things?
Yeah.
I also had a bit of a grim thought that if Robotnik was executed, if Gerald Robotnik was executed in the same cell that Sonic was imprisoned in, that you could imagine, like in the corner, you could see like Gerald Robotnik's skeleton, like they never cleaned it out.
Well, at least blood splatters on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
A skeleton with a very nice mustache.
Of course. I'm still not quite sure why Gerald was ever executed. Because, I mean, on the arc, they killed people mostly out of panic or out of desperation, not really because they had the death penalty. And
yeah,
they didn't ever say that Gerald committed any crimes. So it's kind of random why he got killed.
Yeah, I think that was the only reason they had back then.
I think it was all just to silence him. Like, I think that's what the raid was really about, was they were terrified of Gerald and his research, so they used it as an excuse to, like, shut his project down and, like, execute him for potential crimes against humanity.
Fair enough. It's just a shame we never really see who's responsible, because especially the next episode is really going into that. Like, they almost have this just Jesus Christ kind of thing with, oh, they're gonna fighting for our sins because we committed those sins, but we never really know who really ordered this. So now it's kind of blamed on humanity as a whole.
It is a bit vague with
clumsy.
Yeah, it's a bit vague with why they killed off Robotnik and whatnot. I know Shadow's game they tried to explain it more with the ties with the black arms, but obviously that's a whole other different topic to get into.
Fair enough. I mean, at least I appreciate them actually showing the evil gun soldiers. That's at least better in the games. But yeah, it still feels like there should have been like a brain behind who made those decisions, like an actual villain. Now it still kind of feels random. Because even the soldiers we do see didn't really do it out of evil. They were just following orders and then regretted it afterwards. So it's not really like, oh, they were the bad guys. Like, not really. Oh, well. Guess we're asking for a little too deep diving into a very dark matter in this kids anime, I guess. It's just
something that some Call Johnny's not into, knowing how he doesn't like the story to Sonic Adventure 2. At least from I remember, anyway.
Well, I mean, it's just because he keeps finding out all the plot holes that have been formed up from it, so that's obviously why he's since come to hate it. Well, not really hate it, but just not like it as much.
It's been a long time since I've watched that, but yeah, I remember watching his review on it, and I just really didn't like it because it just felt like he was constantly bashing the game, and in turn, it kind of caused this chain reaction of like, oh yeah, now everyone starts hating on Sonic Adventure 2 to be like the cool kids or whatever to join the Game Grumps crowd. Bleh. Anyway, that's enough of my rambling there.
Yeah, like I always say, at least Sonic Adventure 2 is a good enough story to have plot holes. I mean, most modern Sonic games have so little plot you can't even hit any holes in it. They're just one big giant hole themselves. At least here's actually stuff happening in it. But yeah, that was episode 38. So I guess it's time to hear Ewan's incredible recap of the big finale. Unless someone has a final comment? Captain? No?
Nope.
Okay, then we move on to episode 39. Ewan, half the stage.
I thought it was 38.
Yeah, 38. What did I say?
You said 39. Can't you count?
No.
There we have it, folks. Okay, so
Nate Rogers at it again.
Typing and counting. Not my.
okay, Matt. Let's. This not perfect, but here we go. Upon the last Chaos Emerald being inserted, a timer countdown from 27 minutes and 53 seconds exactly, along with a message from Gerald Robotnik explaining within less than 28 minutes the Ark will crash into Earth, destroying both the planet and the Ark. Shadow leaves his fight against Sonic when realizing all Chaos Emeralds are now inserted into the controls. Gerald's message is advertised everywhere about how miffed he is that Maria got killed and will enact his revengeance against Earth by blowing it up. Rouge informs the guys that the Ark is on a collision course because people on Earth said so. Sonic just arrives to read Gerald's diary, though is disappointed it's mainly about his plan for revenge, so no saucy bits or gossips or anything fancy like that. The President is having a meltdown as his secretary just blabbers on about all the problems going on that he has to solve, while the police arrest the international branch of the Men in Black, even though it seems pointless with death pretty much approaching. With the guys on the Ark discovering the Chaos Emeralds are pushing the space colony to Earth, it's suggested in using the Master Emerald to neutralize them, so the gang splits up into 3 teams. Team 2 consisting of Tails, Eggman and Rouge, who help open the way to the innermost part of the Ark, while Team 1 consisting of Sonic, Knuckles, Boku and Deco carrying the Master Emerald head to the center, whilst Team 3 consisting of Amy, Chris and Tanaka just standing on the observatory deck, basically supporting the others from the sidelines. When suddenly, a wild shadow appears. Okay.
Yeah, Pokemon music. I
Yeah.
almost heard it.
Well.
Just
They say, Chris attempts to talk to Shadow to helping, but it's not effective and gets beaten up in the process. Amy is about to intervene, but Tanaka stops her, as if saying, "Leave them be, hopefully Shadow will finish him off for us." But unfortunately for everyone, Chris eventually says the magic words to trigger Shadow's memory to remember Maria's wish, to give the people on Earth a chance to be happy, thus speeds off to assist Sonic, but mainly to get away from the hypocritical Chris. Team Sonic arrives at the core, where they are greeted by the Bio-Lizard, which Shadow handles, while Knuckles gets paranoid that he might get sealed away in the Master Emerald like Tikal, but succeeds in neutralizing the emeralds, resulting in the Bio-Lizard throwing a childish tantrum and merges with the Eclipse Cannon to continue the Ark's course to Earth. Sonic and Shadow, using the power of the Chaos Emeralds, become Super Sonic and Super Shadow!
In Sonic Forces battle soon.
To fight against Bio-Lizard. Sorry about that.
You okay, Ewan?
Yeah, just that long sort of like Shadow sort of thing just took all the air out of me. But anyway, Super Sonic and Super Shadow to fight against Bio-Lizard, but not before Sonic strokes Chris's cheek romantically for some reason.
Poor Amy, right in front of it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone else sees Sonic and Shadow fighting in space, with everyone cheering them on, except the President, who seems to be complaining about them, almost like he wants to be up there fighting the boss.
Super President. I want to see him in a video game.
Yeah. Super President! Ho! Anyway. With the words of encouragement, as well as Shadow removing his inhibitor rings, and Crush 40 rocking it out, unless you're watching the 4Kids dub, then you're shit out of luck. Uses Chaos Control to transport the Ark back into safe orbit, though Shadow doesn't return because he really doesn't want to hang around with Chris.
Can't blame him.
Eggman departs the Ark while Sonic gives the bad news to Chris that Shadow didn't make it, so no sideways threesome action for him. They all depart the Ark with Sonic saying, "Adios, Shadow the Hedgehog," and thus the credits roll. Whee!
Oh, there you go. That's the episode, pretty much.
Marvelous, yeah.
Well, a lot of things to say. I absolutely love the beginning where you see Sonic and Shadow running towards each other and then just have a giant explosion. That kind of laugh. That made me laugh. I wish it wasn't a gameplay when you fight each other. Every single time there's a giant explosion when you hit each other.
Here, combustible hedgehogs.
That was great. Also, the fight with Shadow is so anticlimactic. Like all of a sudden, there's a random ring, and Sonic grabs it and like immediately wins the fight. Like, okay, stupid anticlimactic rings all the time.
Yeah, and also they seem to have an easier version of the Bio-Lizard fight because I absolutely hate that gap in the platform because you're too busy focusing on the Bio-Lizard and I keep falling down going down the river, going.
It's not an easy boss.
Especially the final phase where you like defying the gravity and you have to avoid all these orbs coming after you.
Oh, the bubbles, yeah.
Yeah, that was annoying.
I was kind of surprised they literally had a literal adaptation of the boss fight in this anime with all the light bulbs and everything. That kind of caught me by surprise. They're really translating the gameplay sometimes literally in this show, shockingly enough.
And also, it's kind of funny how it just comes down from the ceiling. Like, has he always been up in the ceiling?
Poor Bio-Lizard.
It's like, ooh, I got guests. Hello.
Don't mind me dropping in.
Yeah, it's like, hey, did you see my Spider-Man impression? Huh?
Good stuff. Yeah. I mean, the whole scene with Shadow and Chris was kind of awkward. It's kind of weird how Chris is so touchy with Shadow, like constantly grabbing him by his shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, give him some personal space, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, that's even one of the thumbnails on the YouTube video in which, like, he's just holding on to Shadow. It's like, Shadow, you gotta help us.
Yeah, Shadow, my beloved.
Man, I don't blame Shadow for punching him away. It's like, don't touch him, man. Jeez. Give me some personal space, man.
But it's also just kind of funny, really, of how in that shot, though, like in that very tiny thumbnail, it almost looks as though Chris is holding a gun to Shadow's head. It's like, Shadow, you're gonna help me or else.
Yeah. Been funnier.
But yeah.
Can we talk about the whole philosophy stuff where Chris starts his speech about how you have to protect Earth? Like, it's so funny.
Oh,
yeah. Everyone may be selfish, self-centered, and foolish, but they're all living. Like, okay, how is that a counter-argument? Everyone is pure evil, but they're alive. Like, okay, so...
Yeah, well, this is why Chris shouldn't This is why Chris shouldn't steal other characters' lines.
The way he's talking makes him think of like the Doctor because like he's acting like there's so many things that these people should see, and it's like, oh no, wait, I'm quoting the Lion King.
But yeah, I think I remember when I originally watched this back years ago. I was like really that infuriated, like Tanaka stopped Amy from interfering, but later on I now kind of like realize why he stopped that because he just wants to see Chris beaten up. Like we all do. So it's like, no, don't. Let him finish him
he gets beaten up quite a bit in this episode, but...
Stick him in the tape, Shadow!
Yeah.
But only in the Japanese version, because in the English dub it's only cut to just, Shadow karate chopping Chris's hand, and that's it. We don't see him, like, keep beating him up.
What a shame.
Yeah.
We just got a question from the chat. Do we think the Japanese Sonic X handled Sonic Adventure 2 story better or worse than the game? From Blazerona, our old Dissected Alive partner. That's a hard thing to say. I mean, I absolutely love the extra detail with the gun soldiers. We went into that.
Yeah.
The only problem is by going into these details, it just kind of highlights the plot holes even more. Like, by keeping it vague, you can kind of assume things. So, like, yeah, I guess there's like a lot of details we just don't see. But now we actually do get to see those details. You start wondering more about the plot holes. I mean, I did enjoy this very much, and the ending was kind of still emotional for me. So I did a very good job adapting the game version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I prefer the game for a very pathetic reason. I just prefer the soundtrack. The music in the game is awesome. I just love these super intense music.
Oh, yeah.
Here the music is really boring, except of course when Live and Learn suddenly starts playing. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, I remember the first time I watched the Japanese version of that episode way back, and I was watching it, and Shadow's like, oh, I am Shadow the Hedgehog, and then Live and Learn starts playing, and then I'm just like, yeah!
Excellent, yeah.
Yeah, which is a real crime that they removed that from the English dub. Fuck you, 4Kids.
There you go.
Yeah, good thing you're dead.
Poor people lost their jobs.
I know, but seriously, they ruined it, and they deserved all the punishment they got.
Yeah,
They
they
ruined
ruined
Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
Yeah, they ruined a good chunk of the soundtrack in the English dub. So I was like, oh, Japanese is always better. Why you do this for, kids?
Because potatoes!
Maybe copyright
guess-
reasons.
I also liked how you see the final battle from the Earth human's perspective. It looks like a red star with little dots darting around it.
That's kind of funny, yeah. I'm looking. Oh, here.
Yeah.
I got the screenshot. That's. I mean,
Like-
I guess it would make sense. I mean, you have to have the president somehow react to them. In the game, he never knows anything. I guess he just hears about it secondhand. What else did I find funny? Yeah, I love how you see the humans fighting among each other for no reason. It's like,
Yeah.
why are they angry?
Oh,
at each
yeah.
other? It's
Well,
just
when you
space
think about it, if the
company.
world's going to end, everything's going to go to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the humans arguing, but yeah, that's only in the Japanese version. They cut that out in the English dub for some reason.
Wow, they cut so much out. How long is the episode in the American version? Only 5 minutes?
I don't know, shorter than the Japanese version, I can tell you that. Yeah.
That goes without saying, yeah.
Yeah, I think another cool moment that happened with everyone's teaming up and Robotnik gets to have his moment where he like punches like one of the droids with his bare fist. Like, no, not his Eggmobile, it's his own fists.
Robotnik's really awesome in the Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah, except for the last episode, unfortunately. But for the rest, he's awesome, yeah.
But yeah, I just find it hilarious. Yeah, Robotnik's just going all Saxton Hale on those bots. Yeah, I'll beat you to death with my damn bare hands.
I suppose like how in Sonic the Movie 2 you often have Robotnik with his punching moves.
Yeah, I guess so. And in Sonic Riders, he could also punch very well. Punches cars away in the racetracks.
Oh, wow.
So he could be a decent fighter. Too bad there's never in a fighting game he's never playable.
Well, unless you count the PSN Xbox Live version of Sonic the Fighters.
What's Robotnik playable there? Like actual?
Oh yeah, he's playable. You just have to type in a special code on the character select screen.
Oh, but he's in his Eggmobile probably, right? He's not actually physically
Yeah.
fighting. Oh,
Yeah, he's in his robot mech that you fight in the final round. But yeah.
that's a shame.
Yeah.
Bet as a human being, just he would be stronger than with his robots.
But I'm just imagining, like, after that moment where he just punches, like the little droid, and he's like going, "My hand, why did I punch it?"
I've also noticed they cut out those creatures that have like Kelsey's head and like the round balls with tentacles.
That's a good
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, they never show up.
Yeah, the artificial chaos. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
I guess because that's a little too complicated because then they have to explain how they got connected with the.
Yeah,
Sonic
everyone
Adventure.
hates those enemies.
Yeah, they're not very fun to fight. No. Also, just one shot where you see Maria sitting in the forest. Like, what was that about? Was that like symbolic or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just more like her dream of like, finally going to Earth, being with Shadow, and yeah, I like it better in the Japanese version, how she describes Shadow as like, oh, it's a shadow that's looking over us and protecting us, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and also there was a very touching moment where you see Shadow cry.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I always wonder because in Shadow's like memories, his wrong memories at the start, he always thought that Maria wishes for the destruction of all humans, but they never actually show how it plays off. Like, I would love to see that memory just play fully in his head. Where you see Maria all sad looking, Shadow, please, destroy all humans! It's like, why do we never get to see that shot? I want to see that in full. Like,
But it's like destroy all the badness in humans.
oh. When you blow up the entire Earth, just make sure only the bad parts burn.
Blow up the
All
earth with
good
kindness.
Because
Magical
that's what
happy
implies what he thinks, but you never actually see her fully saying that sentence. That's a shame. It would be hilarious if she did.
Yeah. In fact, now that I know about, now that you mention it with Maria, I just remember like the whole deal with like Maria having nids and whatnot. That's only brought up in the Japanese version. Like, not quite. It's just because of her condition, she was too weak to go there, which is completely removed in the English dub.
Another thing I'm very curious about, because I had this very long conversation with Elise and Blaze about Sonic Adventure 2 story, because there's this very vague implied backstory that Gerald Robotnik actually changed Shadow's memories. And they occasionally kind of touch upon that Shadow's memories are fake, especially when Shadow talks with Rouge. That's kind of like almost touched upon, but they never really go into that. And always kind of confused me because that's a very interesting plot point, but we never really explored that at all. What do you guys think about that? That Shadow might have never actually met Maria. That his entire connection with Maria is fake. That Shadow never actually was on Space Colony Ark.
Well,
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, like if that was true, then at least that would explain why we have post-meta era Shadow.
I suppose it does kind of predict like the all the complicated storylines in Shadow the Hedgehog, like if he's actually a robot or not.
But I mean, Gerald Robotnik is on the Ark working on Project Shadow, and that leads to the Bio Lizard. That's the prototype. But then eventually he has to go make Shadow. But I think in the story he says that after he went back to Earth, he finished Project Shadow, as in then he actually made Shadow the Hedgehog. Because Shadow the Hedgehog, we see him on Earth. Well, of course, never mind. We just see him actually travel. Maybe I should plan it out later.
Shadow was definitely on the Ark before, and he definitely knew Maria because the fake memories were Gerald messing with Shadow's actual memories to make it sound like Maria wanted him to get revenge for her, but that's not actually what she wanted. And the game did a better job of this than at least the 4Kids dub, because like in the 4Kids dub, the memories of her that are supposed to be, oh, Shadow, do it for me, they in no way make it sound like she wanted revenge. She just says something very nice, and Shadow's like, yes, I will avenge you like you wanted. Definitely, that is what you said.
Fair enough. I still think in both versions they never really go like deep enough in it for me. And that's, I guess, the problem with Sonic Adventure 2. There's so many interesting concepts going on they never really can go into. Which kind of makes sense, of course. Sonic Adventure 2 is like an action game, so you have to focus on the action. You can't go too deep into the backstory. But yeah, it's definitely a story that's very fun to think about, because it kind of leads very deep when you start thinking about the details. And of course, my favorite detail is always how the heck did Gerald Robotnik's execution lecture get uploaded on Space Colony Ark? Who did that? That's always my favorite cartoon I made with Luke voicing Gerald Robotnik, that he kind of interrupting his execution quickly to upload his video. Also, I kind of noticed in Sonic X that they drew Gerald Robotnik to be a little fatter, so he actually looks more like egg-shaped, like Dr. Robotnik himself. Because in the games he always looks very thin. But it's only in some shots, not in all shots. Maybe he just became fatter later, right before his execution. I mean, I guess if you're stuck in jail all the time, then you can't really take care of your body that much anymore. Just a little detail I noticed.
Yeah.
I suppose one possible solution for your conundrum is maybe he just like set a program on the Ark to like record footage that he knew was going to be like filmed.
Yeah, I guess so. He's a super genius after all.
He's like, before you arrest me, let me set my DVR real quick.
Just quickly give me the IP address of your online cameras.
Yeah, or maybe it's like one of his last requests before his execution to have it, his execution be recorded, but like maybe unknown to them, it's secretly connected to the Ark.
Yeah, probably.
But considering they execute him to keep him quiet and cover up all the information, it's kind of interesting they're still filming it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is hidden information nobody should know, so let's film it.
No, they just wanted they just wanted proof that they executed Gerald.
I guess
They're like, did we kill that guy? Hold on. We pull up the footage. Yep, there he goes.
As if Gunn isn't barbaric enough just to cut off his head and just bring his head in the office. Here's the head of Gerald Robotnik. We killed him.
I don't want that.
like a nice fantasy adventure. He's dead.
A dumb little detail I thought was funny in this episode was like after Sonic and Shadow go super, there's just this moment where Sonic just teleports to Chris and like pats him on the head and then teleports away.
That was so random, yeah.
Yeah. It was more sort of
especially
like a
since like Sonic and Shadow ended up.
That's a good question.
Cheek stroke. It's like,
right, yeah.
Chris, my darling,
Be good, Chris.
But like Shadow and Sonic ended up at the same place at the same time. So where the hell did Shadow go while Sonic was doing that?
Maybe he quickly went to Rouge for a quick,
Oh.
little something.
Oh. Well, I watched the 4Kids stuff, so it definitely wasn't included there.
Not in the Japanese version either. Sorry, it's
Yeah, I know.
you create the scene in your own imagination.
That
Very
was the
R-rated,
joke.
probably. You pervert! How dare you? Oh man,
But yeah,
Chris always getting
Supersonic.
those romantic close-ups. It's so creepy.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Sonic doing that. Sonic doing that whole healing power thing again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's what he did. So he healed Chris. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's just like repeating the same thing that happened in the season 1 finale, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The games never really go into that as Supersonic can heal.
Yeah, we never seen Supersonic do a healing move in the games, yeah.
Speaking of things that are never in the video games, but Shadow's rings, it's so random. I mean, I know Sonic 06 is the only game that really brings it up. And I knew that Sonic X explained it better, so I was kind of hoping for Sonic X to go into it. But even here, they still don't really explain it. Shadow brings it up once, and then indeed in the climax, he releases his ring from his arm. But I still don't know what's up with that. In fact, now the anime kind of implies that as soon as he releases his ring, that's immediately treated like a self-sacrifice, because after that he's immediately dead. Because we don't see him fall to Earth, he just immediately he unleashes energy right after that. And then he's immediately out of the show. Well, at least out of season 2, I guess. So now it's almost implied that him releasing all his energy immediately killed him.
Yeah, those inhibitor rings and whatnot. Like, I remember they were brought up in Sonic 06, but yeah.
It's never really explained. It's really random. Because it seems to be such an important part of this character. And yet they never really go into it. And who installed it and what does it exactly do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a cool detail, I guess.
It makes me wonder if he always has to wear those rings, or like when he's not adventuring. You know, like if he's in the shower or doing something, he has to keep those rings on.
Well, we know the Sonic characters do wear the gloves in the bath. Goes with the face.
Yeah, that was.
It's a chef with
Yeah,
roots
that was.
later.
Yeah, much later episode, which I find that really weird. Like seriously, who the hell takes a bath while still wearing their gloves on?
Hey,
Mickey
the
Mouse?
gloves also need washing, I guess. Did you
No,
say something?
speaking
Kevin?
of, speaking of Shadow's inhibitor rings, I only found out recently that in Sonic Adventure 2 they were actually just meant to be bracelets,
Uh-huh.
and in fact they're not even like rings. They're like they've got straps on them. I always thought that was weird because like in the final cutscene where Sonic gives the ring to Rouge, like it looked like it was clipping through itself, but no, that's just a strap coming off of it.
Ah.
So, hold on, let me send you a picture.
All right.
Oh yeah, there's one detail I forgot to mention with Rouge getting the Project Shadow file off of the Ark's computer, and she downloads it onto this. Apparently, she downloads it onto a floppy disk. Like, yeah, who even uses floppy disks?
Seeing that the ring there, it kind of reminds you of those ticket things where you go to an event or something, and they put those things
Oh,
in
yeah.
where afterwards you have so much trouble getting them off unless you cut
Oh,
these
yeah.
figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, those wristband thingies for like carnival events or like hospital things. Yeah.
They should be.
So you can go on all the rides.
They should be on screen now. But yeah, about the floppy disk, if you look very closely, you can see a CD in it. So it's kind of weird that it's a CD inside of a case. I see them more often. Like I
That's
think.
what a floppy disk is.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's what a floppy disk is. It's a little hard shell around a soft disk.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm an idiot. Never mind.
Well, I doubt like anyone nowadays even knows what the hell floppy disks are.
I know,
Yeah,
but I didn't know
they're-
there's a literal CD inside of it.
Or they might be wondering what the icon is when you say something in Word.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good old
But
floppy
yeah,
disk.
it was definitely weird to find out about that in Sonic Adventure 2 Shadow's rings were actually just bracelets.
Yeah.
That apparently did not last very long because they are definitely rings in all other artwork of him.
Yeah.
And I guess those rings then act like the power rings Sonic uses in Sonic CTM and Sonic X. That's interesting. So those power rings did make it into the games. They're just on Shadow's gloves. And I'm really curious where that all came from. Why that's a theme that keeps coming back. Because I always thought that Sonic CTM just kind of made it up themselves. It was their own little lore. But apparently, since it's such a recurring concept, like apparently this must have been like a bigger thing within Sonic's lore, even in the games.
I also had this other idea that just entered my head, that in the what if in the first Sonic movie that might adapt Sonic Adventure 2, what if Tom is the one that's doing Chris's role, trying to convince Shadow to save humanity?
Makes sense. I mean, he is the one who's helping out at the town.
And Shadow visualizes Tom as Maria.
That would be great. Jeez.
Then he keeps punching Tom.
Well, Tom does have a storyline about being punched, or at least punching the Robotnik, so I guess it's a running theme in the movies now. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting how the movies are going to do this. But I doubt they're really going to copy Sonic Adventure 2 that literally. I mean, it's not like Sonic Movie 2 really copied Sonic 3 Knuckles or Sonic 2 literally. They just grabbed a couple iconic moments and that's about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least... Yeah, at least we mostly know, like, Jeff Fowler, who worked on the Sonic movies, also had some help on Shadow's game. So now that we're getting Shadow in, then maybe this is his second chance to do the guy justice and not have it be like a confusing mess like Shadow's game was.
Kind of funny how so many Sonic, like, old people get a second chance. After all, the guy from Sonic Extreme suddenly was involved with Sonic Lost World. Not that he really achieved much with the second chance, but there you go. At least that game got released, I suppose. And of course, the director of Sonic 06, who then became the director of Sonic Colors. So I guess that's his redeeming arc for some people, not for me, but it's me. But
It's funny. It's funny seeing that with real life Sonic media, because like in actual Sonic media, the only instance I can think of with characters getting a second chance was with Archie Sonic when they decided to reintroduce Shard, the original Metal Sonic, which I've already made a video about.
Fair enough. The game characters only become stupider as time goes on. They get that one cool moment in an introduction game, and after that, they lose it. Poor Zavik.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a good thing Infinite isn't showing up again.
Yeah, because he's been banned.
Just gotta make him dumber.
Yeah, because he's been banned from being featured in IDW Sonic for some unknown reason. Maybe it's just that whole like, oh well, he died in Forces, so you can't use him in there because the comics like take place in the same similar universe or some shit like that.
Which is kind of funny since the game is also kind of implying that Infinite was just a robot built by Robotnik. At least the original version was. So he should have been able to make more like Metal Sonic. But then again, I guess that's retcon out of existence with the episode Shadow, like changing the backstory.
That's so
Sonic
stupid
Forces, so confusing.
That's so stupid with the two conflicting backstories. I don't know if it's more clarified in the Japanese version of that game in episode Shadow. I don't know.
Probably not. Man, I really wish to see like what Sonic Forces was like in the original draft. I mean, there are old drafts of the script out there, but they don't change all that much. So I'm not sure if there ever was an older draft, or it's really confusing.
Yeah, I can only imagine that the process of Forces was like, oh, okay, we're gonna do like we're gonna do like what Sonic SATM did. We're gonna have Robotnik take over the world and have Sonic fight off the army and stuff. But they don't quite understand the whole deal of like, army stories. Like Forces teaming up, banding together, fighting off this evil tyranny because they're kind of stuck in that kind of Japanese set mindset. Like, oh, army, but this character's got to go on his own, do this thing, whatever it is that Pocket only explained that one time.
I really wonder if Sonic Forces tried. I mean, like I said before, the biggest issue to me with Forces is that we never even see Robotnik do anything ruler of the world-esque. We never see him in a throne room. We never see him holding a speech. I mean, even Sonic Adventure 2 does a better job of it. Sonic Adventure 2, we see Eggman on the television screaming at everyone, I'm going to do this thing and listen to me. Like, why
when you first, if you've ever played Half-Life 2, it starts off with you going into this city where everyone's like really depressed and all like slaves, and then you see Dr. Breen on the screen trying to assure everything's okay when it actually isn't, and you see all the
Exactly.
soldiers.
We needed something like that, where you actually see what the city being ruled by Robotnik is like, and all.
Yeah, you know, all drones going around, keeping them in line.
But the only thing we see is Grand Metropolis. That actually looks like a very pleasant city. Like, oh, it don't sound so bad under Robotnik's control. Apparently, looks pretty good. Which, of course, is where my parody went about the first episode. It's like, well, Robotnik's doing a good job ruling the world, so keep him up.
I'd vote for him.
Yeah, we don't really see Robotnik doing anything, and yeah, there's that, and then of course we don't really see much of the Resistance either. Like, we see a few like random characters talking in like those talk icons, but we don't see the action take place. We don't see, you know, soldiers fighting off the infinite monster illusions or helping out with the this and that. No, it's like only at the very end where it's like, oh, okay, let's go up against the multiple clones of Shadow and Chaos and blah blah blah, and that's it. Like, we don't see any of them in the bunker or anything. Like, that's what I feel like Forces really needed, like a freaking bunker, like, you know, a small hub where you can chat with the people or maybe go on missions to get like extra items and cosmetics or something.
Absolutely.
Instead of just a select screen.
Absolutely, yeah. But hey, Sonic Team learned their lesson, and they're gonna improve. That's why Sonic Frontiers is a game about absolutely nothing. So they don't have to set up anything, they don't have to show anything, it's just Sonic alone in a wasteland. There you go. Nobody's expecting anything, so Sonic Team doesn't have to do anything. Perfect solution. That's
I read the brief story info. They revealed, like, oh yeah, like Amy and Tails got separated, so now Sonic is all alone on this adventure. And I'm like, oh, so you're basically repeating everything that's happened since Sonic Colors.
Pretty much, yep. Something tells me they don't even have an in-game model. I'm willing to bet they only show up in the intro and the action of the game.
Yeah, only showing up in cutscenes, yeah.
Only show up in the
just like for Chaos and... Yeah, they're just gonna get the same treatment like what they did with Chaos, like only showing up in cutscenes, but we don't actually like encounter them in game.
Yeah, and Lost World.
Oh, freaking Lost World! Lost World did it worse. Yeah.
Yeah. You can even get that Knuckles was there.
Yeah, like why the hell was he there? Like, you know, he has a freaking job.
And also got those Lego trees.
Oh yeah, the stupid trees. Yeah.
That was so confusing because I don't mind them being on the Lost Hex because that's supposed to be a weird planet, but why is the regular world also having those trees? Like, they were supposed to show the difference between normal Sonic World and crazy Lost Hex World. If the regular world looks the same, then Lost Hex isn't special either, then... Oh,
yeah, I guess this was back when Azuka was sticking to that whole retcon, like, oh, the animals live in one world, the humans live in a different world, but yeah, which fortunately now it's been re-retconned back to being like, oh, you know, humans and Mobians do live on the same planet thing.
I recently had another thought. There was that mysterious female human character we recently saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone thinks she's going to be in Sonic Frontiers, but honestly, I doubt it because Sonic Frontiers doesn't look like it's going to have much of a cast. Maybe she's from Sonic Prime.
Yeah, maybe. But I always just kind of assumed that she was just like a scrapped idea for Sonic Unleashed, since she was like paired up with a bunch of humans that came from Unleashed.
I did hear somewhere that Sonic's going to have like assistance from an AI or something.
That's true, but nothing about Sonic Frontiers looks like it's going to have cartoony humans. It looks so realistic. I mean, then again, Sonic also looks out of place, but I don't know. I can't imagine that girl being in this world. It just doesn't look right. So I have a hunch that she's actually from Sonic Prime or something else, and not actually in Sonic. But we'll see. What did you say, Captain? I was interrupting you. Sorry.
I said Nicole confirmed.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, Nicole in her Hollow Links form, yeah. But I doubt that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean,
I just hope it's not like Shara 2.0.
Who's Charlotte?
Like Shara from Sonic and the Secret Ring.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Because I'm trying to pick the levels and they're just like talking and bantering each other. I'm like, just shut up, please. Oh, look, Sonic, a tree!
But yeah, you know, if Nicole was actually in this game, then maybe I might change my mind. Because I'd be all for the idea of her being in there. Especially if she was in her Lynx form, because I love that form. So adorable.
Yeah, I don't mind if it's any other animal.
Very unlikely. Although, I wouldn't be surprised if Sonic Prime might have references to the other franchise. I mean, that's about traveling through dimensions. And Netflix loves ending their seasons with a big fan service-y ending to ensure a second season. So
Yeah, but
if I
ending
have
on-
to guess, I'm willing to bet that Sally or someone could show up in that show in the final episode. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, ending with a fan service cliffhanger thingy, and splitting the season into 2 parts, like they did with Cuphead.
Probably. Yep. But Sonic Frontiers, I doubt it. I doubt Knuckles and Amy probably barely even get screen time, let alone they're gonna bother with any fan service characters. So I wouldn't count on it.
Well, with the Sonic Prime thing, I always imagine, like, instead of, like, going to, like, already established alternate universes of Sonic, like, oh, Adventure Sonic, oh, Archie Sonic, instead of just gonna be something more basic, like, oh, here's a Sonic pirate-themed level, oh, here's a prehistoric Sonic-themed level, world, that kind of thing.
Yep. Oh, well. Anyway, I think the stream is about over. Anyone has anything big to say?
No, not really.
No
Um,
big statements about big?
Well, I guess one thing I have to state is just an update on the whole Sonic Dash and Spin manga is that Pocket Oni's been helping out. Just recently, I gotten the page for like the next story that he's been helping out. So yeah, good news. I'm about like 95% there completion of getting both stories translated. I just need one more done, and then I'll do a Forgotten Media episode on it. Then some other time we might revisit the story, but I don't know. I'll have to pick out a good one this time.
Awesome. Maybe we'll do next one in a future stream. Which reminds me, next 2 weeks we won't have another stream because I have to go to a special party for my work. Instead, I'll try to have the Dissected about the Sonic movie 2 finally finished and upload that on the day. So
I was wondering about that, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I've been busy. And,
Yeah, I'm also wondering, being as this is how they're doing it, releasing only small segments of Frontiers and Prime throughout the month, it'd be interesting what they're going to reveal later on in the coming weeks.
That's a good question, especially since we haven't got any new footage anymore, so it's kind of weird. But haven't people said that the embargo on footage from the demo is only for another week? So that seems to imply that after a week they're finally going to show off what the demos were all about.
Yeah, it is possible.
So that's probably something that's coming up next. But yeah, I don't know what this week's going to be about.
Yeah, and also, isn't Prime like supposed to be coming out next month or something? So, like, because we have yet to get a proper trailer yet.
Is Sonic Prime really coming out that soon?
I'm not exactly sure.
Let's see.
Because they did say something about like July or something.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, that's quick.
I
I know
think.
Sonic Origins is coming out.
I might be wrong.
But...
Well, I found one source that just says 2022. But,
Oh, they still haven't given a date? Wow.
yeah, I haven't found much on like a proper date yet. Yeah.
I don't
So,
know.
yeah,
Maybe you're just confused with Sonic Origins. That one is coming in a couple weeks, the 23rd. So
Yeah, it's coming
about
out.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, Origin's coming out pretty soon. But yeah, one interesting thought I just had with like how we're getting small snippets of like, you know, footage with Prime and Origins and Frontiers. I feel like that was like Sega just trying to live out their original plan they had back in 2020. You know, the whole gimmick like, oh, we're gonna release like new info on like the 20th of every month, and then of course COVID came and ruined those plans. So I don't know. Maybe this is just them trying to make up for that whole schedule that they want.
And also, this month is technically the 31st anniversary of Sonic.
Fair enough, that's true. But hey, that would explain why the footage they're showing is from an old beta version. If it was all prepared for 2020.
Yeah, it was supposed to be getting that last year.
That would explain a lot, yeah. Mm-hmm. Who knows what's going on with him? Who knows? But yeah, that's for the future, I guess. So sorry we've been very cynical about Sonic Frontiers. We'll give it a fair shot, but so far it's not selling it very well. But hey, at least the captain is enthusiastic about it, so that's good.
I like it.
Oh, there you go then.
Yeah, I might get it. So I'm curious to how this is going to turn out.
Alrighty. Thank you for your service, Luke.
Well, I'll just ignore it. But of course, I mentioned, hey, at least there's alternatives, so I'm pretty content with sticking with IDW and the Sonic movies. Which, yeah, still waiting for the big issue 50, which should be coming out this month, unless there's a delay.
It's a big anniversary month, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we do a proper dissected video stream again in 4 weeks. And I hope to have the movie Dissected done in 2 weeks. So see you then.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye, everyone.